Hey guys, it's Derek here with BigFellaGear.com. I made a purchase last week, and I am glad I did. Been watching Craigslist for probably 6 months, and I found a 2015 model Jackson Big Rig on Craigslist. This thing is pretty much brand new. I mean, there's some scratches on the bottom a little bit, even then not much. Everything else looks brand new. This thing was $800 on Craigslist, so I got a smoking deal on it, so I bought it. So I wanted to do, there are reviews out there, but I figured I would do one from the perspective of a 315-pound man. And I guess let me tell you first and foremost, there's a lot of them out there, a lot of people that make great boats out there, with absolute just crap weight limits. I'm talking to you, Johnson Outdoors. You guys may have seen my other video. My buddy, actually, I paddled this morning with him. He's got a Predator 13 with a 425-pound weight limit. I was in that boat with 315 pounds, and 5 pounds of tackle and another 5 pounds of stuff. So 325 pounds on a 425-pound weight limit. And sitting, I had a good inch of water in the boat. Standing, I had 2 inches of water in the boat. I'm here to tell you that this thing's got a 450-pound weight rating, and it is a 450-pound weight rating. I stood and fished in this thing this morning for, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours while floating the river. I did use the stand-up assist bar, that guy right there. I'll put him up here in a minute. But guys, like I said, 315-pound man, 6 foot 3 inches tall, size 13 shoes. I can stand in this boat and I can fish in this boat comfortably. I mean, that's fairly technical water that we were doing today. A lot of paddling around stumps in the current, a lot of bends, a lot of super shallows to avoid. And like I said, standing, paddling, fishing for my second time in my life, basically, that I've ever really done that, and I was fine. I left not wet. So, anyway, like I said, I can't say enough about it. To talk about the capacity of the boat, my buddy that I was fishing with, he goes about 210 pounds, and if you can see these scuppers here, he had water probably about 1.5 inches from the top of the scupper while he was standing in it. So, well, it'll get out of focus there. I can't do that, but basically halfway in that hole. I'm basically 100 pounds heavier than he is, and I was not even to the top of that hole. So I said I could stand in this boat without any water. Not only could I stand comfortably, but I could stand without any water coming through the scupper holes. Like if I slam my butt down hard into the seat for whatever reason, and then I maybe twisted to the side, I could get maybe a little water to sort of geyser up out of the hole, but it was just that hydraulic pressure of me really thrashing around. The minute that I went even remotely level or even calmed down, water gone. So this is realistically a dry ride. So many people put those 450-pound weight limits on there, and it's garbage. This thing legitimately, I got an extra paddle in there, an aluminum paddle in the stern. I've got my tackle, my PFD, extra sweatshirt, net. You can see my rain gear underneath there in a dry bag. I got a drag chain. I've got extra stuff in here. So like I said, this is probably 300, I would say there's 340 or 50 pounds in this boat, and it's dry, and nothing gets in the back. There's a couple of scuppers back here, and there's a scupper under the seat, and they're dry. So anyway, that's the biggest takeaway from this, guys, is you can be a legitimate 300-pound man and paddle this thing dryly, stand in this thing and fish dryly. I can't recommend it enough. So I know people have done these a million times, but I figure I'll go ahead and go about a stern with you on this. So I'll give you some pluses and minuses. Here's the stand assist bar. A lot of people say they don't use these. I'm a novice to and all you do is, like I said, there's a couple of pins that slide in here, and do the same thing over there. I've been using mine. Not so much. I just like to have it in case well, honestly, the biggest thing I like to have it for is this paddle holder. The way this V's out like this. Let me see if I can get that done. the way that forms a V right there, it gives you a place to lay your paddle longitudinally across there, and that comes in really handy. So that's honestly the reason I have it as much as anything. And, you know, I was in some shallow, fast-moving kind of off and on river today, and it gives you a nice place to be able to stand if you know you're going to bump a log or something. Give you something to hold on to without having to sit down super quick. Along those same lines, the stand-up bar is this stand-up assist strap. That sucker is in there. I use it, and yeah, it's well designed. It gets my fat ass out of that seat perfectly comfortably, so that's a good thing. But anyway, like I said, I do use it. I'm going to be doing, I think Chris Funk has an alteration on this. He actually put a piece of yak gear right here, some slide track, and then he put a ball with a standard one of these guys, just a ram holder. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm not going to drill mine. Ram also makes a clamp that will go under, like a U-bolt clamp. But I'm going to be doing that because when you're up and you're fishing and you want to paddle, what I did, and it works well, is I put this boom tube up here, and so I can just stick the butt of my rod in that while I'm standing, and that works pretty well. But like I said, I think the ram holder up top will work even better. So like I said, it works well. I like it. The other thing that I know Chris Funk had said that I am going to do tomorrow is he put some shrink wrap here and on the other side, and some heat shrink, and I'm going to do that as well. Honestly, not so much for the quietness of it, but so that it'll be a little more grippy and keep my paddle from sliding around. So anyway, front hatch on this thing is enormous. I don't love the design. It feels a little chintzy. Again, I bought this thing used for $800. I'm not too worried about it. But it does have the rope, so it won't come off, but it's not hinged or anything. Johnson does have a nicer front hatch, in my opinion. But this thing's sort of trapezoidal in nature, and you can probably get more stuff in it. So anyway, yeah, that's just some ratchet straps that I keep in wherever I go. And see if I can get you in here. Sorry, that's my giant hand. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Monstrous. You can get whatever you want in there. Poles or camping gear or whatever the case may be. And then actually it goes to the front a little bit too. I already bought a battery box, and I'm going to hang my battery box right here for some LEDs that I'm putting in for my fish finder. So that's the bow. You see these sort of rod protectors that run on these troughs along the edge. Those things were a lifesaver. Like for me today in Technical River, to be able to shove those in there quickly and get them out of the way of the trees and stuff was awesome. Coming back down here a little bit further, you see these things do come with a sea deck. I think 2015 on comes with a sea deck. The foot keepers are nice. They're kind of soft. I'm 6'3", and you can see I got them bottomed out. So taller guys, not that you wouldn't have room. I mean, it's a sit on top, but yeah, it's like I said, I'm 6'3" I've only got a 32-inch inseam, and I've got them all the way to the end. So just FYI there. You know, a nice track in the middle. I put this guy on. Come on, guys. You know, you're selling a $1,900 or $1,800 kayak. You can put a freaking cup holder in it that's better than that. So that thing's kind of worthless. But the like I said, the slide track right there, I just put a Yak Attack cup holder right in there, and it works great. When I'm sitting, this is the one I use the most. I'm left-handed, but it's backed all the way up. It's right with my thigh. So that's nice. You can see my various Dr. Slick and fish grips and my NRS Copilot. I love that thing. Then you got plenty of room under the seat in the high position. I wouldn't put anything down here that you can't crush. I've got some winter wear in one of those bags, like a fleece and a sock hat and stuff. And I think my neoprene gloves, and then the other one I've got my rain gear. But that's where that is. You got plenty of room. But like I said, I'm in a high position, so you need to be able to, if you're going to lower it. The other thing on these that's nice, although the design wasn't thought out real well, is you got this pocket right here on the seat, but the strap comes right through the middle of it. And it seems like they would have figured out a way to offset that. But anyway, it works fine. I keep my phone in there a lot of times. And then you've also got room for 3,600 boxes on the side, both here where my chain dog leash is, and then you've got room underneath for 3,600. So I said, I kind of keep my dog leash here, and then I've got a over on the other side, I keep my first aid kit, so it's handy. Started doing that after I put a treble hook all the way through my finger about a week ago by myself, and realized that I had my first aid kit in a place I couldn't readily get to it, and I changed that. One thing that is cool here, these do come on the big rig, these do come with the cleat, and then this is pre-plumbed. So this runs here, runs all the way along the back, comes out right there, and then you can see it's actually trenched through here, and then it's got a couple of retainers. And I use, like I said, I just use it's a drag chain coming out the bottom there. I actually didn't, some people will take this and they'll remove the cleat, and they'll cut this here and here, and they'll actually like attach this. I didn't, because I like to be able to release it and pull, and I do it that way, and that way I don't have to constantly be jerking on that rope. So it works better for me. So the seat, you guys have seen 1,000 videos on the seat. It's amazing. Like I said, I'm a big dude, and I can sit in that thing all freaking day, high, low. It's fantastic. They got a nice pouch on the back of them. I just keep some sunscreen, some off. I think my headlamp's in there with some spare batteries if I need it. Big tank well, poorly used right now, but yeah, just, you know, my PFD and tackle bag and stuff like that in there. I may get a crate system at some point, but who knows. And then, like I said, coming back, you've got, you know, a huge stern well back here. So again, all the way up. The thing with these, and then it goes all the way back as well. So you just got tons of room back here. The thing I do like about these, being a big guy, is that deck, I will say, and you kind of saw the foam that was in there, the structural foam. There's some up here too underneath that main tunnel. Like I said, I'm 6'3", 315, 320, and I am solid on that deck, where on some of the other sit-on tops that I've fished on, not only has the weight limit been fake, in my opinion, but they're a little spongy on the deck. This guy's not at all. He's firm. I mean, if you can't stand on this, yeah, you can stand on this. So anyway, and then coming back, I don't love the way they did their handles. I mean, I appreciate the way that there's two back here, but it's kind of a pain. I bought C-Tugs that just came this week, which I love. I just used them for the first time this morning. But to actually carry this thing with two people, I wish they had a beefy, and I understand why they don't, because you got your power pole mount back here and place for a rudder, and it is pre-plumbed. I didn't show that, but this whole thing is pre-plumbed for a rudder if you want it. But if you're just two people carrying this thing, it's kind of a pain in the butt to carry it in the back, because you either got to get your hand up underneath there, or you got to try and sort of hug it and bring it into your gut and have your, you know, one hand on either side while you walk behind it. So I don't love that. I'd rather have one big beefy handle back there, maybe by the chain hole. But anyway, to each their own, I guess. It's certainly nothing I'd complain about. I just, after having had it, it'd be nice if it was a little easier to get a hold of. So, but when you're buying a 38-inch wide, 13-foot long kayak, how easy is it going to be to transport? You know, I mean, you kind of know what you're buying. As far as paddling, it is a barge. I kept my sit-in for paddling with my wife and keeping up. You know, if we're actually going paddling. I don't think I'd want this to be my only kayak if I did any paddling at all. I mean, it's not horrible. I don't mean that it's horrible, but you know, we'll get in and do 15 or 20 miles on the river. I don't know if I'd want to paddle 15 or 20 miles on the river in this thing compared to you know, a sit-in with a, you know, 28 to 30-inch beam on it. So that's just me. But in terms of just fishing from and having an aircraft carrier to keep all your stuff and launch and be able to get in and out of easily, and I mean, and like I said, it paddles fine. You put that in a low position, and I can keep up with my kids and stuff fine. It's a lot more energy with for the width, but you know, speed is really a function of length, and energy is a function of width. So if you work and you're powerful enough, I mean, you can keep it moving, but it's certainly no speed demon compared to even slow-ish recreational kayaks. So just be aware. Man, guys, I mean, that's it. Like I said, I can't recommend this thing enough. It is a fantastic boat. I can sit in it I've been out a handful of times now. I've only had it for, I don't know, a week or two, and I love this boat. And when people go buy it, they comment on it. I mean, this is not having owned a Jackson, the plastic is smoother, the boat is stiffer, the deck is harder. I mean, just the fit and finish is so good. Yeah, this is, you know, I don't know that I'd pay $1,800 or $2,000 for a new kayak, regardless of how nice it was, just because that's me. But man, $800-900, $1,000, even, you know, this is a fantastic boat if you're doing a lot of fishing, and I can't recommend it enough. So anyway, hope you guys enjoy the video, and like I said, if you get a chance to paddle one, do it. If you got a question or comment about it, just let me know, and I'll see if I can get it answered. And if I can get an actual video of me doing an actual paddling test, I'll do it. But I'm here to tell you, like I said, 6'3", 315, 20 or 30 pounds worth of equipment. I can stand in this thing, and no water comes through those scupper holes unless I really thrash around, and even then, it goes right back out. There's no standing water in this boat at, you know, 350 pounds, and I think honestly I could probably put another 50 pounds worth of equipment and still be in the same boat, so, or in the same situation. So kudos to you, Jackson, for not being full of shit on your weight limits. I appreciate that. So anyway, it's bigfellagear.com, guys. Like it, subscribe, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.